The Guyana government is currently meeting with scores of Tushaus in an annual conference which started in 2021, where Indigenous leaders get an opportunity to raise issues directly with the administration and together craft strategies to address them. Participating in this year's conference is a visiting delegation from Belize, led by its Minister of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labour and Local Government, Oscar Requien. The Belizean minister and his team were in Guyana days ahead of the Tushaus conference and have already engaged Guyana's Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Pauline Sukai, while also visiting indigenous villages in the country's hinterland regions.
We are here on a mission, on a visit, to learn about your indigenous experiences here in Guyana. And there is a lot that we can learn from you.
Guyana has one of the largest indigenous populations in the region and one of the most progressive indigenous rights legislation. The Belizean minister believes this is a big plus for the country. Belize Prime Minister John Briceno visited Guyana recently, and during that trip, the two countries signed an agreement which, among other things, allows for cooperation and best practices for Amerindian development. It was Briceno who recently appointed for the first time in Belize's history a Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs. The country is now trying to find ways to implement measures in keeping with the recent ruling by the CARICOM Court of Justice, which asserted Indigenous peoples' communal rights to lands.
Well, certainly the expectation is really to look at your policies that promote sustainable development, good governance for the indigenous communities, learning from the legislation that you have in place, the kind of work that the government does with the indigenous people and how the indigenous people interact and work with the government. Those are the expectations that we have come with. We want to learn from those experiences, and I must say that over the last days that we have been here, we are very, very much impressed with the work that the government does with the indigenous communities.
In addition to the support offered to Amerindians by way of legislation protecting their rights, they also benefit from presidential grants, tailored job opportunities and upskilling, scholarship for youths and empowerment, and an Amerindian land titling project. Successive People's Progressive Party civic governments have made Guyana the front-runner in addressing the development and unique needs of the indigenous people. But local advocates of Amerindian rights continue to call for a review of the existing legislation. The government believes they fail to recognize the special regimes of rights which are already enshrined in the legislation.